The Spin-Off Podcast Network.
This is Kiwi is back for a brand new season with more inspiring kōrero from special guests including rugby player, father and role model TJ Perenara.
My family bring me joy. Rugby brings me joy too, but it's not the same joy as my family brings me.
And global dancer and choreographer Kirsten Dodgen.
For some reason, people think I'm very intimidating.
Listen to the new season of This is Kiwi, brought to you by the Spin-Off Podcast Network in collaboration with KiwiBank. Available now wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey everyone, it's me, Drew Opwalo, host of the Comment Section Show. Come join me and one of my iconic special guests every week on the show as we dive into the dreaded comment sections of our tagged videos and take down the most terrible men on the internet, period. Somehow, they won't go away no matter what I do, no matter how incredibly awful and mean I am to them, but I don't mind doing this work. In fact, if I'm being honest, I think it's God's work. So make sure y'all follow me on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts for new episodes every Wednesday.
Okay, I'm doing it. 500 mils of sugar-free taurine coming at ya.
Welcome along to the Real Pod. It's going to be a goodie when they're necking 500 millis.
Oh, man.
Here's Alex Casey. Hello. And there's Duncan
Yum.
Reed. Hello. I'm Jane Yee.
Hello.
And this is your reality TV and real life in New Zealand podcast. But we start off with some Nando's news. Nando's are our very kind, lovely and delicious sponsor. What have you got for us, Alex?
Well, there's big news this weekend. Nando's, is it the Roost? I think the restaurant, actually. The Roaming Roast is hitting Splore if you are heading along. And they're trialling out a new kind of veggie patty, which we actually get to try later today. And cricket flour wraps, which I tried to explain to Jane because I feel like I don't know where to emphasize, because I was like cricket flour, like it was like a flour from a cricket ground or something. But it's flour made of
flour.
It's crickets. It's literally normally used as an insult, but in this case, a cool thing.
I'm real into it. I'm into anything like that.
Did you eat when there was that big stash of crickets at work?
I did.
I got really into them.
I was honing them.
They're freaking delicious.
It's great.
It's eerie because they're
like
a
the
full
yummy
animal.
parts of like a bag. Like the yuck. Actually, kind of what people might consider the yuck part of like a bag of chips, like the skin or something. The kind of gross, crispy bit. It's just that the whole way through, and that's what I like.
That's not gross, though. It's not gross. It's the best bit. I have a question.
So they're going to make their wraps out of that.
Yes, Jane?
Are crickets gluten-free? I'm just asking for our celiac friends. Does anyone know?
It's protein.
I'm just wondering if cricket flour is like a great alternative to, say, regular wheat flour.
I'm going to find out for you, Jane,
quite
because this is
technical.
the Real Pod, and this is investigative journalism. And I can tell you now, yes.
Gluten-free?
Yes.
Cricket powder. Oh, hold on. Is that something different?
No, I'm sure it's
Nah,
fine.
it's fine. I mean, definitely take it from us. We're,
Like a vibe from
we're
a single
experts.
Google is really where we're at. Let's get into it. I feel like people are...
Yeah, people are gagging for some battery caps. I just want to say though, just on the cricket flour, just quickly, way to go Nando's for like progressing things forward. Like constantly coming up with new menu items.
Yeah, literally on the forefront.
Yeah, that's all. That's what I was going to say. Okay.
And progressive food ideas.
And if you're at Splore, look out for your bum.
Yeah.
I am
actually
disgusted
serious.
at how much you have copied my husband.
She's fine.
Reality check.
Right. This week was a big week on Bachelorette. Not least because Aaron said this. Aaron said this.
Aaron said
Fix it.
this.
Aaron said this.
I'm starting to fall in love with you, I think.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Aaron.
Yes, there is a great tweet doing around that has that followed up with Art Green from season 1's. Oh my God, from when Danny dropped the L bomb. Yeah.
Oh my god.
So good.
That's so good.
So good. So we will talk at length about Aaron later on in the podcast, but just keep that little soundbite in your head. So lovely. But we'll start off with Mark, R.I.P. Gone.
Oh yeah, he's not bothered though.
He's not bothered.
I feel like he asked to go home because he was so chill.
No way.
No, he was.
No way. He was. Mark was feigning chill, and they like gave him like a decent cover story where he's really missed his daughter while he was totally nude almost the entire time.
100%.
Mark is gutted, you know. He is bothered.
I don't know. He said he wasn't bothered though. He said he wasn't bothered though.
I'll tell you what it is. I'll tell you what I think it is. I think it's a bit of both. I think that Mark would have loved to have carried on the telly for the rest of his goddamn life. But also, I feel like he's so fond of himself that he's kind of not bothered because he'll just find some other outlet for his pain. You know? He's like one of those people that it's like, oh, well, if I'm not good enough for them, they're not good enough for me, so I'm off to my next adventure.
Yeah,
I think he'll be fine.
Yeah, he's doing
fine.
He loves to go to Kong. If anyone out there's been to Kong before,
what is Kong?
It's like a hip hop club, and Naz always hosts like club nights there.
Fuck,
and Marky Mark went along, and it was a big sort of.
Where is it?
May High Street? I don't know.
Kong.
He's got the jong out of Kong. I assume.
Yeah, that came out of nowhere though. I was kind of blindsided by that. I wasn't prepared to lose Mark. I miss him. As much as I don't feel like he's necessarily a great life partner for either Lesina or Lily, I just liked having him on the show, weirdly, because initially he was one of my least liked characters, and I don't know, just grew fond of him somehow.
He was good TV the whole way through.
Yeah. Is he the only one who went home across the 3 episodes this week?
Yeah.
So last week they dumped like 6 people, and this week just the one.
You got to make room for the mighty kūmara farmers of New Zealand.
Definitely a potential winner.
Okay, which takes us nicely into the next lot. So I think we'll just run through all our new guys before we get on to the old guard. So we'll start with Elliott, who's like straddling new and old. He went home. He went home on night 1. He was an original bachelor. He went home on night 1, right? Like in the very first rose ceremony.
He's one of those guys who had quite a lot to do in the first episode, like snapped to drinking Coke. They had like quite a nice little package around him. I think was he nude?
He was nude. He was the one who was like, I like to be nude. They really want as much. Like they're like, the nude guy went home. We need another nude guy. Let's bring in the other nude guy. Like so, they will not have no nudity. Does that make sense?
Life drawing as well.
Yeah.
So much.
Can't be stopped.
Anyway, so what did you guys think when Elliott came bowling through the door?
Oh, here we go. Here comes a bloody card. He's back again, baby.
And he's absolutely slippery with sweat. Like
head to toe dripping.
Yeah. Is that a thing? Is that a bald thing? What? If you don't have any hair, like, because if you start sweating at the top and then there's just nothing to catch it.
Oh. No.
Is it not?
I thought it was like a blockage and therefore there's a seepage.
Yeah, I think. Isn't that how it works? Because he has a very sweaty head.
Oh, no,
it was
not.
His...
I'm 100% sure.
Oh, was it his bod?
Well, no, because he was wearing a white shirt that was like drenched.
Okay.
I don't think the camera really picked it up, but the lads were, observing.
Yeah, and I think even the girls said something. But then they had to dance with him in that tango thing. No thanks. The guys were quite happy.
I like Elliott.
The guys, the old guys were happy to have Elliott back at first, weren't they?
But then now he's like he's a total troublemaker, and I really, really like it. It's kind of what the show needs. Like otherwise, they'd all just be palling about.
Yeah,
the intruders and the old guard.
I love that when they talk about the culture.
Oh my god. We spent so long building the culture.
It's culture up.
What is your culture?
It's just like, sharing that one singlet.
Okay, can we
Eli
look,
Mathewson tweeted about.
What is with the singlet? Tell me about this. There's a muscle tee that everyone seems to be wearing. Is that right?
Yeah, it's like a grey, kind of got bigger armholes than your usual. Show off the thing.
Show off the things. Yeah.
I don't know.
And the guys are sharing
I
it
can't
around.
explain it.
Are they sharing anything else or just that one? That's the culture right there. That's the culture.
That's the culture.
The earnestness with which they talk about the culture is truly one of the best things about the show. Given the huge gulf between what the culture actually is, which is essentially nothing, and how much they care about it. It's freaking amazing.
They've started playing Monopoly Deal. Did you notice that?
No, I didn't
In their
notice
downtime
that.
at the hostel. The lads sitting around dealing a bit of property. Kind of like that. That's the culture I can get behind.
There's a lot going on at the hostel. Like
the mansion.
45% of the dates are happening at the hostel. Yeah. Either on the balcony or down in the front foyer. It's incredible. Anyway, Elliott
they do continue to call it the mansion, right?
They do.
Which is very strange when it's clearly a hostel with like
bunks.
15 bunks in every room. Like it looks okay. If you had a continuum which is prison at one end and mansion at the other, it's so close to prison and so far from mansion. Like you can't just say something is something and then it makes it something.
You know how Aaron got Steve kicked Aaron out of their room because he interrupted him when he was talking to Lesina. That happened.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was like, he's got nowhere to sleep now because don't they all sleep in the same room in those 15 bunks? He just must be sleeping in the hallway, poor Aaron, which is also where he likes to have pashes. But anyway, we'll get to that. Elliott went on a date with Lesina. They went on a very murky riverboat ride thing where they got onto a nickname basis, which is...
Of course that guy has over 100 nicknames, eh?
Oh, yeah. Most of which I think he's, put out there himself.
Yeah.
You know? But Gillis is the one that she's using. And Shuey is what he's calling her, which I think ties in really nicely with this whole... with us,
It was
really.
a beautiful moment of synchronicity there.
The driver just texting and nearly
away.
crashing the boat was,
So good.
was really good.
Really loved that. Shout out to the tourism operators of Argentina, eh? That lady who did the art tour, you know. It's just been that old guy sitting there at the life drawing thing. It's just it's random punters who just did not ask for any of this.
But they got it anyway. So after his date, Elliott comes back to the house. Everyone asks what he did, and he doesn't tell them. Now this is payback. This is his. It's really everyone's very cross that Elliott won't tell them what they got up to. But Elliott's like, this is the ultimate payback for them pranking my boys. Because who was it? It was like Terrence, Liam. I don't know who else was involved.
It was weirdly George was the puppet master.
Oh,
he
and
was
yes,
like,
George.
oi,
George
boys.
was like a maniac during that whole thing.
yeah.
He was
I
like
loved it.
grinning
And
from ear
Terrence.
to ear and shaking with excitement. But yeah, so those guys pranked the new guys by telling them they were going to be joining Elliott on his one-on-one date. And so the new guys got all dressed up and waited outside for 10 minutes. They seemed pretty good-humoured about the prank. The old guys were just completely like rabid dolls about it.
They came out
Yeah, gotcha!
And that Michael, the kūmara farmer, did not know what was happening.
No.
He did.
I don't even know.
He is yet to know what is happening.
Doesn't know what the Bachelorette is. He basically went for a drive in Dargaville and now he's here and he's just trying to make the best of it. Trying to get a new
he's
strain of
amazing.
sweet potato.
You know, this is on. It's like just such a weird thing for them to be in conflict over, but it's as we'll get to, it's starting to really get out of hand. Let's move
It's
on.
very
to
low stakes. The whole thing is just crazy low stakes.
Yeah,
they're
it is.
trapped in this tiny little hostel and almost nothing's happening. And they've gone proper troppo. And it's very odd. It's a very odd show. I don't know what it is.
But I like
enjoy
it.
But yeah, I enjoy it a lot. But it's very strange.
Let's talk about Michael F., kūmara grower from Dargaville. Awkward as anything, but then when he had some time with the camera and his just when he's in his like element, when he was in his kūmara field, when they like did a profile of him, and I thought he like spoke quite eloquently. He didn't seem too shy, maybe just a little bit timid. Spoke really well when it was just him and the camera. Get him with another person though, not good.
I think he should have his hair down more as well.
Ah, incredible head of hair. He looks like he's from a different time.
Yeah.
Or like the cover of a romance novel.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's incredible. It's incredible. I actually think I was talking to Mark about this, who works at Spin-Off, who's from Dargaville. And he was like, I think the problem is, it's not that he's shy, it's just what happens when you put like rural folk with townies.
Oh.
And he's allowed to say that because he's from Dargaville.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know, you've got, and I was like, actually, maybe that's something the show could have done better, was get more rural folk, get some more salt of the earth, Kiwi farmer blokes.
Yeah.
Because he was like, I reckon that's why he feels so shy. It's not the cameras, it's not, well, obviously probably a bit of that in the situation, but he was like, when you're like from a place like that and you're with all these, you know, really bullish like city lads, it's just like they speak a different language.
Yeah. They need a gang.
They need a gang.
You know how in the US they've got Bachelor Nation and all the like the alum get together and they hook up and some of them get married and have babies and all that kind of thing. I think the perfect match for Michael, the kūmara grower, would be, remember the girl, I think her name might have been Alicia or something. Not Alicia, but Alicia. I think she was in that season and she had the long
had all the
black
animals?
hair and she loved the animals and she gave him the big stuffed toy. Wouldn't she
That's
be perfect for Michael?
What about the Black Doris plum lady?
She was not
too
rural.
highbrow, even that.
I don't think she was that city.
She was Christchurch, I think, wasn't she?
Oh, maybe. Which is similar. I mean, that's like
Way
the
too
city.
big. Way too big city.
Yeah.
So when they had their lovely group date of making a cup of tea, Michael made a nice tea, and there was a preview of, you know, they kind of did that weird fortune telling where the voiceover was doing like fortune telling, and there was a preview of him being nude, another nudie.
With fairy
like in the
wings
pool
on.
or something.
I found those throw forward things quite unnerving, and I didn't want them to be there because I like to watch the show unfold in real time. Like I don't even watch the next coming up on The Bachelor.
Right.
I wouldn't have minded if they were in the same episode, and I assumed that was what was going to happen, but it wasn't.
It feels like it's a spoiler about people who are going to stick around a bit.
Yeah.
But in the US one, I mean, don't they do this like 10-minute long teasers at the start that if you watch very closely, you're like, well, there's the final two.
Yeah, they do, but they never show faces. And what they do, they do cleverly do it just at the beginning, and you actually have to go back and watch it because you think, oh, I'm going to remember that one of the final two is blonde or something. I mean, that doesn't help you that much, but then you have to actually go back and watch it to really understand later on in the season when you've got to know everyone. But here they're just
Who
like,
else
don't
was
care.
in the flash
We'll just show you
forwards?
who's still here after the rose ceremony.
Were any of the other newbies? Because I wondered also if it was like these guys aren't just here for a lot, like they're going to be here in a while, so stick around or something. Oh yeah, I don't know. It was definitely odd.
It was weird.
Terrence was in it as well. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it was weird. Okay, so anyway, Mac is should we talk? Oh, sorry, did Michael got Lily time, didn't he? He won Lily time after the tea.
Yeah, she doesn't get him.
No. No.
Yeah.
I don't know there's anything more to say.
Yeah, he's just a simple kūmara farmer.
Not much to say about Mac. He's
Sorry, can I just say one more thing about their interaction?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Wow.
No, when Michael was like, I am a bit of a petrol head, and she like just jokingly was like, what, like sniffing? And he's like, nah, I like motorbikes.
Legitimate question if you're from Dargaville, in my opinion. Totally legitimate question. That's why he didn't blink an eye. He was just like, oh, yeah. Obviously, I should clarify.
No.
It's just recovered.
No. That's my other mates.
So Mac is a terrified Christian. Just seems terrified of everything. and a Christian.
Yeah.
And when he had time with Lesina, she's like, I really noticed after our last podcast, Duncan, when you mentioned she's just like grilling everyone with like job interview questions. I really noticed it this week. And she was like, how do you feel about the gay marriage thing? To which he was like, double thumbs up, all good, no probs. Was that when she revealed that her... No, someone else asked her. Someone asked her at one point.
Are you homophobic? It's becoming the new, how do you feel about vaccination?
Yeah.
For the like hot button social issue segment of the show.
But Lesina's got a gay brother, hasn't she? So that's why she wants to know, because she's making sure, and obviously a lot of people who are of the faith are opposed, and she's not down with that, which is fair enough. That's all I know about Mac. That's it. Have we got anything else on him?
I don't think so.
I don't think he's going to be around
He weirdly
too long.
tried to engineer like a group hug. Do you remember that?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
before
That
the
went
cocktail
so
party?
badly.
It was
with the new
terrible.
lads.
Yeah.
I felt bad for him.
I did as well. But it did.
You can't
kinda
just come out and mess with the
nowhere.
culture like that, though, you know?
No, but he was trying to create the culture amongst the new lads.
Hug culture.
Yeah, I think the new lads have got enough culture going on as it is, thanks very much. They're a force to be reckoned with.
Let's talk about
Okay.
Mike. Dreamy Mike.
Let's talk about Mike. Mike, who while I was watching with my husband, I was about to say boyfriend, my husband Joel, Joel was like, hey, I went to school with him. He married Chelsea Winter. Yeah.
Whoa.
There you go. Not very
What
bad
is- okay,
news,
That's
but it
great.
was at the time.
Can we get some Joel scoopage? Like what was he like as a high school man?
I don't think John knew him very well. He went to one of these big all boys schools that was just like 10,000 pupils. So, but he's like, I think he's into sailing, and that was correct. So well done, Joel.
Good on you, Joel.
Wow.
Perceptive.
Yeah.
Joel the mole, am I right?
yeah, they're everywhere. He's got a 9-year-old Labradoodle. He had a marriage breakup in November 2018. It's actually not very long ago. It's just over a year ago. And in fact, it was
that's
only
Chelsea
a year ago when they
Winter.
were filming.
That's crazy.
that's Chelsea
man. I
Winter.
feel like you shouldn't be allowed to like talk about it. When he's like talking about his old relationship, and I was like, I feel like if it's a celeb, it's
And
tense.
he wasn't very nice about it. She was like, oh, red flags. And he was like, yes, red flags. I was like, oh, that's what you say about people. Like when you're on these shows, red flag means someone's batshit crazy, you know? So that was, it was weird to think. It was the first time, because I had some context as to who he was actually talking about. It's the first time I sort of thought about the other people whose ex-partners go on these shows and then talk about their old relationships and how weird that must be. But good for us.
Nightmare.
Good for us. Mike Bear's not messed up enough for Lily. Lesina was a bit thrown by the fact that Mike had previously been married, even though Logan also has been previously married, right?
Yeah.
Logan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
big time.
He told her with the like toasted sandwich chat.
I feel like Lesina, like, if she isn't into someone, anything they say can be ascribed a red flag. But if she's
I
into them,
think she's
then
into
it's all
Mike,
fine.
though.
Well, she is now, but I think initially she was trying to keep a bit of distance because she, had this. She sort of felt like she had good things going with Aaron and so on.
No, I disagree with your theory there, Duncan. I think she liked Mike from the moment he walked in, because also he made a rubbish tea and she still gave him her time.
I reckon Mike's gonna be there at the end.
I think so too. I think it's going to be it's a 2-horse race between Mike and Aaron for Lesina's heart. It's my opinion.
Amog.
Despite the
What
fact
is Amog, by the way?
Alpha male of the group.
Is that the culture again?
That's
Creeping
the
up.
culture. Bow, bow, bow.
Wow.
What else? What else about? Oh, here's something. I'm not sure if you guys have picked up on this. Close your eyes when Mike's talking, and he sounds like Art Green.
Does he? Oh my
Duncan,
God.
doesn't work if you close your eyes now. You've got to wait till he's talking.
Don't
I closed my eyes as soon as
tell
you
the
said close
Cornies.
my eyes. I was just like, yep.
I think I might have had a quick nap.
Yeah, look out. I reckon Mike's gonna be right there to the end. Okay.
He's frozen.
Richie, he's a clothing designer.
Okay.
And we're back.
He got into clothing design in a really unique way. Spilled some milk on himself, and a friend chucked him a pair of drop crotch pants, and that was the beginning of the love affair with fashion.
He loved
It's so ridiculous.
Who's having milk in 20 bloody... I assume he started in 2019. But was he drinking a glass of milk? I just want to know.
He might have been. He might have been making a coffee, perhaps.
Drop crotch can catch a lot of milk.
Well, no, it wasn't the drop crotch that caught
True.
the milk. The drop crotch was what I put on after.
Oh, that was the drop crotch you put afterwards.
It's very layered. Anyway, that's weird that could just completely change your life course. But there you go, a pair of drop crotch pants. He went on a one-on-one date with Lily. And when George came to tell him that he was going on a one-on-one date, it was real cute. He was like, okay, you're going to need to take togs and towel. You need closed-toed shoes, a jacket, jeans, shirt for later. And he was very informative, was George, which is about as much use as he is on this show because he's not up to much. Anyway, and they went and made empanadas.
Oh.
But was it a prank? You could never trust George now.
That's true. Lily is quite taken with Richie, her normie guy in a non-normie way.
Who isn't? Are you not taken by Richie?
Yes, I am, but I'm not, unfortunately, the Bachelorette.
I love Richie.
I
Okay.
think Richie sucks.
Oh my God.
Yep.
The disrespect to the rich man.
He's threatened by Richie.
He's too confident.
I don't think he's that confident.
No.
I feel like you shouldn't have your life changed by drop crotch pants. That's just not something
And
that should happen.
that is a fair point. That's a fair point.
I feel like, he bothers me. Like there's something kind of. I find him a little bit phony.
Okay.
Because
of the loud shirt?
No, I don't mind a loud shirt. Maybe it's because I'm very protective of Lily, and I have in my head like a real specific type for her, and it's not him.
Okay. Is it Quinn or is it somebody else?
No, it's Terrence. I've become full team Terrence.
Wow. Wow.
But Richie just, I don't know. Like I don't buy him. I really bought him at the start, but it's like the reverse of some of the guys where you sort of, the more you get to know them, you're like, oh yeah, you're good. I'm like, the more I get to know about him, I'm like, no, you're a strange one. You present very well, self-assured, especially because he was coming in next to Mac and Kūmara Man, and you were just like, wow, you're very
true.
But the more I see of him,
Interesting. I like his relaxed approach to cocktail party fashion.
Yes, me too. It's the
I
shirt,
like his
right?
Vans' t-shirt with the blazer. I don't know. I feel like he's the only type of that particular guy who probably
that's what I was going to say.
Who's on that show.
He's the closest thing to someone who would be, I feel like, in our maybe extended circle of people we know or hang out with. I say that like we hang out. We don't hang out. But you know what I mean. It's again, I hate to bring up my poor husband Joel, who hates being mentioned on the podcast, but he was like, this guy is the closest thing to me. When I say me, I mean Joel, who works in design. He's like, he's never seen a character like Richie on one of these shows, because generally,
hashtag representation matters.
Yeah, representation matters. So and I think Joel really appreciates his type of person, being represented on the screen like that. So I think it's nice.
Okay, well that's a good argument. I realised my argument was so flimsy until I went into it.
You don't like him because he's like quite confident, and that's it.
Yeah.
And because he's not Terrence.
Yeah.
Lily likes him and he's not Terrence. Right?
I've become very fond of Terrence latterly.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get to Terrence soon.
Mm.
And we'll get to, in fact, all the old folk.
Oh,
from
except for then Terrence said the terrible thing.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Shit, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Cancel me.
Terrence is cancelled, Doug is cancelled.
I feel like now is a good time. Now's a good time to just have a wee break to chat about spin-off members.
Hello, beloved Corny. I've got some breaking news for you. You may or may not know we've launched the Spin-Off Members program. This is a program that allows you, our readers, to contribute to the future direction of our coverage. If you become a part of our members club, you can support us hiring more journalists. You can tell us what you like, what you don't like about what the Spin-Off's doing, and you can also tell us what you'd like to see in the future. If you want more information on it, you can go to www.thespinoff.co.nz/members.
Hello there, Simon Pound here from another spin-off podcast with a little bit of cross-promo for you. If you might be into the stories of Aotearoa's most interesting entrepreneurs and innovators, you might like to check out Business is Boring, the podcast I host that reckons it's anything but. Recent episodes have included great guests like Tim Brown from Allbirds, Kiri Nathan from her own label, and Brianne West with the amazing story of Elliott. If that sounds like a bit of you, it's available through the spin-off or wherever you find your favourite podcasts.
Okay, let's talk about Terrence. Duncan's...
Can I just say...
I mean,
I was a big fan of Terrence, and I think he's a sweet-hearted person, or certainly presented that way. But I did have like a major problem with the whole with the claimed kiss prize.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so gross, but also I feel like we have to factor in Lily's reaction to it, which was quite chill. And she kind of did it. And I wonder in that moment, I'd like to know, did she feel pressure? Did she feel like it was weird, or is that banter? I don't know.
I don't think that Lily. I don't think that Lily would kiss someone she didn't want to kiss.
Yeah.
I feel like she's self-assured enough. That said, I'm not in her brain. I don't 100% know. But she also made the comment. She seemed mostly annoyed by the fact that he shouldn't have to ask. Like she was kind of being like, have a bit more confidence in yourself. Like, you don't need to call in a bet to get a kiss from me. I would kiss you anyway, kind of thing.
Yeah, just let it happen organically rather than as a sort of a prize claimed. It was, It was awkward and like, and I thought she dealt with it in a way that sort of both didn't inflate it beyond what she thought it was, but also noted it so that, like she handled it pretty just exceptionally as she tends to handle things, and she's a very good communicator.
Mm-hmm.
I truly believe that Terrence was trying to flirt. I truly believe he was trying to be cute and flirt. I don't think that there was any ill intent behind it, but there is definitely something a bit weird about being like, you owe me a kiss.
Yes.
Yeah. In a relationship where two people are both on the same page and you know exactly both where you stand, that might be a cute thing and that's fine. But when you're in this situation, it's kind of like, well, we had a bet. Because I don't actually recall her, did she agree to that bet?
I thought, or did he have to go under 23 seconds? There was some
there was a point of contention. I think it had to be under, and he got just on or something. Anyway, it was weird. I don't think it bodes well for Terrence's future.
No. But yeah, she did kiss him. So who knows? God, anything could happen in this show. Look at Logan, for example. Let's talk about Logan. Logan.
What did Logan do this week?
I still can't stand the guy.
He wasn't even around.
Duncan,
just the concept of him annoys you?
I'm sorry. He had a big old kiss with Lesina.
Oh, that's right.
She gave him a notebook. Remember, he wrote her a letter, and she went down to the $2 shop and got him a notebook. Actually, no. A producer went down to the $2 shop, got her a notebook, and was like, thought it would be cool if you gave this to Aaron and you won him one time. I don't think she thought of that idea at all. She gave it to him. He gave her a kiss, and she was like, "Yeah, it's like it was less dry this time."
Yeah, it's sort of rave review.
I know, but also she actually said, "Poor dude," So she's like feeling sorry for him.
Yeah.
And the reason why his kiss is dry is because he's not using his tongue at all. So he's like trying to do a pash without his tongue.
Why are you looking so closely?
It's my job, Alex. Why are you not looking closely?
The way that
best
she
bit is
like there's this gulf right between like she sort of appears to be into it in the moment, but then afterwards she's like almost embarrassed by the fact of it. It's
yeah.
I mean, it's not tense. It's just like it does not bode well for poor old Logie.
To me, that seems more like someone who's kissing under pressure of the moment than Lily and Terrence. Like, quite honestly, just purely
Dry
from
mouth.
Like observing. Yeah, dry mouth. I feel like this. I'm not sure that she wanted. I'm not sure why she would want to kiss dry mouth again. But hey,
and it
different
happened in a
strokes,
weird
different
way.
folks.
It felt like a weird exchange of diary for a kiss. I don't know. It was and then he was just like, man. It was just like, yeah, I don't like it.
Why is the kissing so odd on this season?
But I feel like it's not with Quinn.
no,
maybe it's
fine.
because you
It's great
see
with Quinn.
people like Quinn or even like Mark, and you're like, okay.
Is it because they're mostly sort of in a 5-minute sort of stand-up exchange rather than at the end of a romantic date where you went paragliding or something?
And there's Jesse's knocking on the window outside being like, can I come in?
They don't go anywhere or do anything. It's real crazy. You think about the first season of The Bachelor, and they were always about 50 metres up in the air. Or on a super yacht. Those are the two locations. I mean, once they went to a barn, I think. But they were around.
Yeah.
Just always just on a little nook.
yeah.
The
Or a hallway.
The best thing is about the dry kiss is that Logan comes out the back of it and she's kind of giggling and hiding her head in his shoulder, and he's like apparently my kissing does something to you, eh?
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's so shameful.
Yes.
I love it. I want Logan drives me nuts, but I do not want him to go anywhere. Okay. Steve, we mentioned earlier he got annoyed with Aaron. And Steve's a hothead. He gets annoyed about he's annoyed too easily. It's out of proportion with the crimes.
It's because they've taken his diaries away.
It's true.
But some snooze.
But during the weird cup of tea date, they had one of those fortune telling previews, and he's kissing Lesina. So he's going to kiss Lesina. That's not a spoiler. The show spoiled itself. Okay, what else? Jesse, he didn't have a ton of airtime this week until right at the end, where he just had some time at the cocktail party and shared some facts that he has a degree, and she had a dog attacked by a crocodile. Was that him?
No, that was her.
No, that was her.
Of course, it's her.
But it's really not. Jesse is declining rather than elevating.
He is. He was at a good place a couple of weeks ago.
You should have kissed her in that brown spa.
He should have.
The brown blind spa was a perfect kiss moment. He didn't know.
I can't think of a better place.
He probably thought they'd go on some nice dates and not that he would be trapped in his room for the next 3 weeks. You can't really blame them for just being so... It's like Hostel.
Yeah.
The franchise. It's so strange.
Okay.
Tavita's body just exploding out of him.
You could do a great horror movie trailer cut out of this season.
Let's just actually get straight to Tavita. He himself and him is not intimidated by the new blokes. His hernia is playing up again, which is I feel like it's a little leading to something. We actually ended on Tavita this week, didn't we? Because he pulled Lesina at the cocktail party and wanted to know if she thinks he's as amazing as he thinks she is, because this hernia bro is...
It's clutching his intestines, being like, do you want me to stay? Because I will. That man needs to go to hospital now and get his whole body removed.
It's real crazy to him. And she's sort of using it as a love test. It's well, you would risk your life and internal organs from if you really cared about me. And he's like, well, yeah, it's just that my body's breaking down, but I don't want to die in Argentina.
What else I love was like when the boys are doing their GoPro stuff throughout the week, and you can just see Tavita lying in the background, just holding his hernia because he can't really sit up. It's so sad, but it's quite funny that he's just still there. Like clearly,
I don't think hernias hurt, do they? Joel had a hernia.
Did he?
Oh, poor Joel.
Yeah.
Hernia Joel.
Oh my God. I'm sorry, Joel. This is a really bad week for you on the podcast. Yeah, he had a hernia in his tummy button, and he had it sorted out. But it was there for years,
Yeah,
honestly.
People have them for a long time. There used to be this classic radio sport ad where I think like it was like a husband and wife sort of setup, and like the wife would be like, do you need a hand with your golf bag, dear? And then it's like, then the voiceover comes in and it's like, get him that hernia operation. And it basically implies that like husbands will like keep their hernia around for ages so they don't have to carry anything heavy and make their long-suffering wives carry around the golf clubs and suitcases and stuff. That's classic.
That's crazy.
Maybe
that's so common.
That's obviously what Tavita's doing, right? He's like, I've got this hernia. I'm not going to get it taken care of because I want Lesina to carry my bags to the next exciting locale. We know they go somewhere else because we know their art was at some like sort of resort thing. So that must be when it's getting down to the last few. Anyway, Lesina is kind of mortified, turns away from Tavita and looks at like production and is like, is this an ultimatum? Almost like asking them as opposed to him. Which I find interesting. It feels like maybe she's kind of aware of the involvement that production have in the storylines, and that it didn't seem like she was asking Tavita. Or she was just so shocked she was like looking for a friendly face to be like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
But I'm intrigued and I'll be back for more, that's for sure. Quinn, he was like not on the radar at all this week. At all. Like literally nothing to say about him. You guys?
Nothing. I watched his Instagram story. He did a CrossFit competition over the weekend. Steve was there supporting him. He is very strong. He is. I don't think he's the winner though, because I just don't feel like I could imagine. I just don't know. Now that Richie's on the scene and has captured the hearts of the nation and incensed Duncan.
Hang on. What about Liam and his gelato container licking ways?
Liam is so weird.
He's preposterous.
Everything in life can be managed.
I'm really glad Liam's on this show. He's such a strange character. I can't get a read on him because he's one minute he's like, I never take anything too seriously, but he's taking Elliott not telling him what he got up to on his date incredibly seriously. Yeah. Very upset he's just imploding with the arrival of the new guys. But let's talk about his date. He went to a gelato shop. The guy at the gelato shop was very excited to be on the show. Yeah. Liam says he's half Spanish so he can read all the ice cream flavors, and so he's reading the ones that are like chocolate and I don't know, I can't name it. Basically just the ones that were really obvious what they were in English anyway. We had more blindfolds. It's been quite a blindfoldy season because there were blindfolds in the beer bath and now at the gelato place. But there were two major health and safety protocol what do you call it? Breaches this week in the gelato shop. One, Lily sat on the bench, which you don't do. You don't put your bottom on a food surface. Number two, Liam licks the container. Like to camera, just grabs the container, puts the lid on. Oh, bit of gelato sticking out, leaking out the side there. I'll get that. Licks it. Gross.
That's culture, Jane.
Don't do that.
Take it home to the boys. Prank them.
Lily did a very smart thing so that she didn't have to pash Liam. When she gave him her rose, did she get this one out from her bra?
I think it was sort of, armpity, bra sort of area.
She was like, it was just not the place for a pash. They were literally just like standing in some kind of pedestrian mall. There were lots of people around. and it, she could give him a rose without any kind of pressure or expectation of a kiss because it just wouldn't have been the right time. So there was no kiss, and I think that probably suited Lily just fine.
He had the weirdest chat when he was talking about past relationships, and he's like he puts a lot of pressure on people. And makes them change, but then doesn't like it when they change. He's like, and then she just changed for me. And I was like, yuck. It was so confusing.
This is his issue. It's like everything he says, he also says the exact opposite of.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Yeah. And then Lily didn't like that much either. Okay. We've talked about we've only got one more fella to talk about.
George?
Aaron.
George. We forgot George last week. I was about to forget him again. Okay, our official apologies to George, who we got to the end of last week's podcast. We were like, see anyone else? Nah, I think we covered them all. But we hadn't. We hadn't covered George, and I was just about to do it again, which I think speaks volumes about George's role on the show.
Correct.
George is probably going home next week, I'm guessing. Anyone?
Some of the newies will go. So you reckon?
You think one new, one old?
Yeah.
How many are they getting rid of? Who knows? There's just no rules at this place.
Well, we do know that there's like 20 more episodes, right?
Yes.
Like literally 20?
I don't know.
Could there be more intruders?
I think we just
still arrive.
Just getting to halfway.
But not yet there.
But not yet.
Which
there.
It feels insane.
Yeah.
Because they've been in Argentina for most of my adult life.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just laughing along, even though I couldn't hear you guys. It's cute. Aaron, it was big week for Aaron. He got one-on-one time. He got a lovely art tour of Argentina, even though he doesn't know anything about art, but he was prepared to go there for the love of a good lady. It's the date started off with them patching in a hallway off camera. But the audio was obviously recording. So this is when they're like about to shoot the shot of them leaving the hostel of hell. And and I think that's very telling as to the real connection that they have. That then it's definitely not just for the cameras, right?
Yeah, I almost think that bit going in is like too much of a foreshadow. Like, if she's doing that with him, then he is 100%. That feels like Adam Matilda kind of stuff. Like it's hard to imagine that you do anything off camera in secret, forgetting that your mics are on. I mean, it also was an opportunity for my current favorite reality TV show of all time, which is Door with audio. It was a real that happens so much, and it's so good. It's a real good one with Married at First Sight, which we'll get to shortly, of Ivan powdering his balls. For a bit of Door with audio.
Oh my god. What about the singing?
I love Ivan, but
what about Aaron singing that long ass song?
Okay.
This week, I lost track of time.
Okay,
Aaron's song. Okay, can we all just what? Oh, Jane, tell us what you think. I want to know what everyone thinks about that. That was one of the most fucked up things I've ever seen.
Okay, I love that he did it in the way that, like, if someone did that to me, I'd immediately break up with them. But I love that he did it because it was on the television. I think he got a bit of an unfair edit because they were playing music underneath that was in a completely different key to what he was singing. So it made him sound like he was totally out of tune. I would like to hear the raw version of it. Secondly, the song, do you know the song that he's singing? Do you know it? I looked it up. It's every little thing that you do, you are amazing. And then it's, I'm amazed by you. So it's a real cheesy pop rock kind of.
Is it Baby I'm Amazed?
You know.
Fuck,
Lonestar.
it did not sound like that. Okay.
Well, because that's what I was going to say. They really chopped it up. She said she liked it. So this is another thing they're doing with the edit. Same with when he said, I'm falling in love with you, I think. She was like, oh, I just don't know what to do with this. That's what they did. And they came back from the ad break and she was actually like, oh my God, that's so nice. And I feel really amazing that he said that. They're Frankenbiting and it's confusing me.
I'm into it. What do you think about Alex?
Here's what I think is weird. When he's like, I want this to be, what was it, like the wedding song or our first dance, whatever. Is that just something that one person decides? Yeah. Because I feel like it should be a collaboration, and it should definitely not be that song.
You can't sing your own one. What did you think?
People do it
about
different ways. I think, there are some people who are like, you choose the first dance song and I'll choose the walk down the aisle song. But I agree it should be a collaboration. I think what he's doing, though, is just showing that he's a man who's thinking about the future and picturing his wedding. And I think that's all he's doing with it. It's totally up for negotiation. Plus, he just wanted to sing.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
Look, I loved it. I mean, it was excruciating, and I wish we had seen it in full. But it just it's so funny to start and then just realize you're just in it, and you just have to keep singing. And then I just would have loved to have seen the entire thing, no edits, just
I absolutely
100%.
Yes, I think that they made a major editing blue by not playing it out in full. Probably would it be a copyright thing?
Yeah, I think so.
Such a shame, because I think it would have been worth every penny of paying whatever you needed to pay for that, because it really would have been a magical TV moment.
It's very vulnerable of him to do something so embarrassing.
Yeah, on some level, it's
I
like
don't know what it shows.
We should be encouraging men to cry and sing on camera like Aaron does constantly. But Jesus, so full on.
I think that, but I think she's into it. I think she thinks it's cute. She's like,
she was kind of laughing. I think she was embarrassed.
He could shout in front of her and she'd be like, I just thought it was sweet. Like it's crazy how much rope Aaron has to just be a freaking diagnosable dingus and there'd be no consequences for it because he's really good looking.
It reminded me. Remember when
Saxy
sung to Jordan at the altar at their wedding, when she sung her vows?
Oof. Yeah.
Oh yes.
It was more awkward than that,
God.
and they played that out. I'm pretty sure, at length. It was so good.
Yeah, that's because it was an original song, so she would have given them. She would have given them.
Oh yeah, full rights.
Aaron gave her some art. He told her that he loves her, he thinks. He gave her some art, and then it happened to be on the wall behind them, which is weird. So clearly it's destiny. I'm just realizing now that he reminds me a little bit of what Danny was like with art, speaking of art. Danny was really all her eggs in the basket. Matilda played it a little bit cooler. Aaron is the Danny character here. But will he get the final rose?
But who's Matilda?
Will there even be a final rose? It's got to be Mike B, the sailor. Why wouldn't you marry an ex-Olympic sailor? And he's got a French surname, right? So, old mate Logan, who's French, he's been gazumped by a kind of a cooler French guy, smooth guy.
Oh shit!
How many hats has Aaron bought
Have you
to
noticed
Argentina?
the vitriol? Oh. Who wants to go first? I'm going to say 5.
We got some bad legs.
He had that baby blue number, which I hadn't seen before.
The turquoise one. The one that says which is colour matched to his suit.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
In a good way? Or?
Did he have like a quarter shipping container? I don't understand how he got all that stuff there creaseless.
Probably picked them up on site. Isn't that a hat thing?
I was going to say, he might have found a... What are hat makers called again?
Milliner.
Whoa.
Oh my god. Sorry.
Milliner.
Stop knowing things like that.
Oh, no, you're handy in a pub quiz. Anyway.
What I was going to say, though, is which I think we've talked about, the vitriol towards Aaron on Instagram from the likes of Marky Mark and a couple of the other blokes is crazy.
Oh.
Really?
They hate him. They hate him, and they're calling him like a douchebag and all this stuff, and in comments on
nuts.
Their own stories and everywhere else. It's real intense.
Story?
You know who else hates him?
Yeah.
You know who else hates him? The mole. The mole in his little, if you follow the mole on Instagram, he's doing these very fast-paced wrap-ups. much faster pace than ours. He fits them into like 15, 20 seconds or whatever. And he pays out Aaron all the time. Like in a proper mean way. So it's not a good sign for Aaron. Not a good sign.
Aaron deep down might sucks, even though he's very vulnerable.
He also had tension with Steve at the cocktail party over whether or not it's possible to fall in love during the process, and this is obviously after he's just told Lesina that he loves her. So that's a bit awkies. No one else knows that. He said that, but of course he had to kind of be like, oh, I think it's possible. Anyway, watch this space.
Oh, yeah.
That's it, I think. That's it. All right.
You got there.
So
Weird week.
we're just going to do a quick weird week. We're going to do a quick MAFS chat. We've all seen it, right? I
watched a dinner party last night. That is all I have seen.
That's the only thing I haven't seen.
Okay, I've seen all of it. I've seen it all. What are your thoughts?
Let's just pick like a couple, like our favourite couple each, and do a bit on them.
Is there a New Zealander? Is one of them Kiwi?
Yeah.
That blonde lady?
The Thai lady who had the secret weapon bikini.
Oh, okay, I missed all of that. Okay. Is she married to the
Is
black
she a
guy with kind of
Kiwi?
long hair? Looks like a magician.
Kathy.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, Kathy.
Cassie, yeah.
Kathy. I love Kathy.
Yeah, Kathy's a Kiwi. Yeah, she's probably the best person on the show, which is nice.
Yeah. Oh, they're so great. I love them.
Kiwi.
Okay, I think they're going to go all the way.
Totally.
My favourite character is Ivan.
Ivan is incredible. By the way, did you notice at one point he called himself Ivan? So I think Ivan could be a rebrand for the show.
It is. He's like Ivan. I mean Ivan. And then he kind of like tried to say, "Oh, I've been living here too long. People keep calling me Ivan." So,
when he lost his phone in the
amazing.
Rolls Royce and jammed his hands in it and was just there for seemingly an entire day.
Whoa.
God, what a scene! And how
But
can they
also-
get like the most baller suite when everyone else is starting out to freaking peppers?
because it's
It's
Ivan.
crazy. Ivan, the way that they're framing them up as these sort of millionaire Euro types is just, geez, it's good.
Also, he broke the Rolls Royce, and they had they've had to send the whole car off to get repaired. And in the process of repairing the car, they'll retrieve his phone. It's just really good. It's really, really good because he's also like, I'm this really important, real estate guy. Lots of important calls to take, and then his phone's just gone for like, I don't know. Has he even got it back yet? Probably not. But he's my favourite character.
Yeah, but also they're a fantastic couple. Like they just work.
They're a great
very
couple.
Funny.
Yeah.
Who else is good? The
No one.
reformed meth addict and the ex-UFC fighter who broke his spine. Jeez, when you put it like that, it's like I can't believe that didn't work. That is tense. That is just an absolute
It's
cold
so
mess.
tense.
Is that the one that she didn't like how much money he made and he got psycho?
It's just a joke.
Yeah.
No, she made over and over.
Do you know what? I actually think it was just a joke.
I have never in my life had anybody say that I don't make enough money. So angry. To that guy. Who's that guy who looks like an old version of the expert? The kind of geezer? Grey hair.
I can't remember his name, but yeah, he's with
Sweeney
he's
Todd.
with I can't remember her name either. Is he called
That's
Steve?
the problem. Yeah, probably.
I don't know. She had a very bad time on she had a very, very bad time on the snow, didn't she? I kind of get it too, because the snow's a big long day. It's a lot
Very cold.
a lot of falling over. That is very cold. Anyway, the gay couple that's tense AF. They I can't see that working out.
Such a mega luggage. Yeah, it's not as complete chaos as last year. They're trying to make real couples, and it feels like there's a reasonable, like even the ones who had kind of rocky intros sort of seem to be out of the dive for the most part. But it's still quite fun. I think it's well cast and
Connie's
and
an
made.
interesting
like
one.
It doesn't. Connie and Johnny. Do you believe Connie?
Connie and Johnny.
Connie and Johnny. No, well, not since I've looked at her Instagram, I don't. I was all on board, and then, I mean, I know that people talk about that, and Instagram's only a moment in time, and she's not like a prolific Instagrammer, but she's certainly partied up, and I don't know. It just seems like that what is being portrayed online by her own self is quite different to what she's portraying on the show. I'll just say that.
Yeah. Connie's mum, Rena. Discuss.
Love her.
Is this Connie?
Yes.
There's the guy. That's the guy who I thought was a magician, and he actually is. He looks like a magician, and he is.
What?
It's great that your magician Dar is so...
Well, she just said that in her in one of her captions. Love that. It's my skill, magician Dar.
Connie's mum. Connie's mum was. I like the fact that it feels like the first time that someone's actually referenced knowing what the show is. They always seem to. Whenever someone's like, "I'm getting married to a stranger," people are like, "What?" Their families. It's like, surely by now, if someone comes into your living room that you love and they're like, "I'm marrying a stranger," you're like, "You're going on the TV show." Connie's mum is the only person who kind of was like, "That I hate that show. It's horrible. Look what they do to the people on that show." Which is fear.
But that must have been happening for years, right? And they've just finally gone, actually, let's just put this in. It's too good. And it doesn't detract from it at all. Like, it kind of course that's how people would feel. And I really enjoyed it. And like they've been doing that a little bit over the last week, and it's been mean.
Yeah, I like it too.
Can I talk briefly about Love is Blind, which I've been watching on Netflix?
Yes.
Have you guys watched it?
Please do.
Have you heard about it?
No.
It's amazing. It's so bonkers. It's American, but it's a house full of men, house full of women, and they date by sitting in these booths. They can't see each other, but they just talk to each other. And they just date all day, talking to all these different people. And it's only like 2 days in, and people already are proposing to just these random people that they met. They've never met, that they just like fall for incredibly hard. And then they meet, not at the altar, but they meet at the kind of the real proposal. And then they have 4 weeks to figure out if they actually want to get married or not. It's crazy. I really, really, really like the format. Because then there's this one guy who's like with like 3 different women who are all in love with him, but they don't know. You know, they don't know that each other's all falling for the same guy. It's crazy. It's a very, very good show. And it's just people sitting on a couch talking to a wall. It's insane.
It's so like low cost production.
It's Door. If you like Door, you'll love Room.
I just want to issue an apology for any weirdness that's happened throughout this podcast, because like particularly in the latter, say 25%, we've been cutting in and out pretty badly. So if there's a whole lot of nonsensical talking over the top of each other, like more so than usual, that's why. But that's our podcast for this week, I believe. Anything else to add? Oh, the lag's real bad now.
It's like about 15-second lag.
It's crazy.
There might be some things which are so like out of lined up that you know we're cancelled. I mean, obviously I'm cancelled for the whole Terrence thing, which I genuinely
strong endorsement of Terrence's behavior.
Forgot that he'd done that. And now
it's like the only thing he did this week.
But I just remember, like, I basically was panicking because I had no material for my Richie dislike, and so I was like, Terrence. So I could just his beautiful face popped into my head. But then obviously,
like I say, I really think if anyone was ever, if you could ever use like innocent intent as a defense.
Which you can't. To be clear.
Which you can't. To be clear. I mean, I think he was trying to. It was misguided flirting, and it paid off.
Oh my god. We have to shut this shit down.
We have to cut it out.
Cut the last hour and a half out of this podcast. All right.
Just play Aaron.
A real part.
Can we get Aaron to sing us out? Can we please get Aaron to sing us out? Tina, can you organise that? Okay.
Just crank it up.
Here's Aaron with, what's the song called?
Baby I'm Amazed? Is it Maybe I'm Amazed? Maybe I'm
Amazed. Every time our eyes meet, this feeling inside me It's almost more than I can take. Baby, when you touch me, I can feel how much you love me, and it just blows me away. I've never been this close to anyone or anything. I can hear your
Kia ora, I'm Duncan Grieve, founder of The Spinoff. You can help us keep all of The Spinoff's award-winning journalism free for everybody by becoming a member today at thespinoff.co.nz/donate.
Kia ora e te iwi, Te Aihe Butler here, podcast manager at The Spinoff. If you enjoy listening to our podcasts, consider supporting our mahi by signing up to become a Spinoff member at thespinoff.co.nz/donate.
The Spinoff Podcast Network.